said. This morning I was watching a video. I like to watch Let's Plays, like horror game Let's Plays. And I was watching this video of this actually fairly well made horror game. The problem about it is obviously written with ChatGPT. But it was a good story. Like, somebody had a brain behind this, obviously, but they probably hashed it out with ChatGPT and stuff. The voice acting was very convincing, but it was AI, but very convincing. And probably some of the art as well. And I'm sure the coding as well, which doesn't matter, whatever, people don't really notice that. It's just whatever, right? And the entire comment section was about that. The comment section was not about the game or the lore or whatever. It was all of the comments were about it being AI and how it is a problem. But AI is not going to go away. Like, it's not like because people are going to rebel against it that it's going to go away, because plenty of businesses, especially, bigger businesses and people making money with it, are making money with it, which in the end ultimately is the factor for it all to stay and for people to find ways for AI to be more sustainable environmentally, right? So yeah, I mean, I think the AI question is not, oh, can we boycott it, which I don't think that's possible. I think the question is, are you gonna go with it and make ethical decisions? Like, for example, voice acting. Are you maybe gonna pay a person on Fiverr who's cheap, instead of using AI, versus just using straight up AI? What I've been doing with AI too is graphics, and I use my own art, or I use art that I am allowed to mimic, and my style as well. Like, I actually have put out one YouTube video, and one is coming up, where I want to break up, because it's just me reading Reddit. Want to break up the video a little visually, so I have some images, but they are in my art style. You can still tell that they're AI though. But yeah, so basically, it's like either you get on the wagon or you're gonna get left behind. Unfortunately, that's just how the world works. We can boycott as much as we want, but if there's money in it, you can boycott in your cabin. Do I know the harm that it causes? And you gotta be realistic, unfortunately. And as somebody who has, who sees, Silence does marketing and coaching and consulting for businesses, anything from like small entrepreneurs to bigger companies. Like, all of them use it. They don't give a shit what people say online. They don't give a shit about all these social media people. Like, they don't even have time to look at that. They sometimes are on TikTok and that's it, and they don't really have time because they're thinking about their businesses and whatever, and they're thinking about ways to make things cheaper and better. And if they can make it better for cheaper, which AI sometimes, not in terms of art, but it makes it faster. You obviously want to get shit done faster. Which ultimately is why AI exists, right? Is to make our lives easier. Just, we are in the beginning, and right now it's difficult for us. I talked about this before, but there's like, in the ideal world, AI would take over all the difficult jobs that we can't do, and then we get a base salary in a perfect government, and then we can do whatever we want for extra money. Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that is very interesting. I mean, AI has been used, it hasn't been as sophisticated as now, but things have been definitely, AI or AI facilitated, like transcript on Adobe Premiere, things like that, where you just click on transcript and it transcribes the video and has subtitles right away. Like, that's obviously AI facilitated. And nowadays that's even easier now. You can just go on Adobe Photoshop, which has been there forever, and put in a picture, and there's just one button, remove background from the subject, and you have a transparent background, and you can do whatever you want basically with and that's in the click of just, I think a lot of people don't understand how much they're using AI, even if you don't use ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, whatever, DeepSeek, whatever the fuck, you're still using AI. It's just more sophisticated nowadays. That AI, the first thing that it's used for is sex, obviously. And I think with AI being so advanced, and you can basically make it be whatever you want it to be. It's not as sophisticated as it should be yet. Especially, like, it's not as good in terms of writing yet. It's not as creative yet. I think it doesn't understand nuances in terms of like what makes a good story, because it has a lot to do with emotions. But like it will figure it out, or people will figure out how to program it, understanding the complexity of emotions, which obviously a good story is something that compels emotionally and makes people feel something. That's why art is a huge thing. That's video games, it makes you feel something. And music, it's all about storytelling basically and appealing to your emotions. And AI doesn't have that yet, but it will, 100% will. And lots of people I see on threads all the time, people talking about how they're using ChatGPT as like their best friend or their boyfriend or something. It's like, of course, that's the first thing that people do. And once AI is at a place that it can actually be the perfect person for you, the perfect personality for you, I think people are going to be even more antisocial, because people have flaws. People have boundaries. People have feelings of their own, and they're complex people and are confusing. And AI is not going to be that. AI is going to be whatever you want. Like, even if you want a person to be challenging for you and sometimes have just an argument with you, it will do that. Like, it will be whatever you want. And once we can put that into realistic bodies, which, that will be a thing. I think the robots nowadays are, although they say that they look very realistic, they're very robotic still. People are going to drift apart more and more. And then things like they are happening in Japan and South Korea, where the population is basically not repopulating and dying out. I don't know, but humans, I don't think are going to live that much longer, and we're going to be a tiny speck in history. We're like a tiny speck. I don't think we will ever make it as long as dinosaurs have. Dinosaurs lived for millions and millions of years. I don't think we will ever, like a tiny dust speck in history. Here we are thinking we're so important. Here we are wondering, here we are having anxiety, and me included, anxiety about things like work, money, relationships, people, family. Here we are thinking about these measly little problems that each of us has, that in the grand scheme of things don't mean anything. Nobody cares. I'm gonna be 40 in 5.5 years. Help, please. AI, please help me. Help with just conserve my body. I'm fine with conserving my body how it is now. AI art will never be like human art. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I think it will take some time, but just like writing stories and creating art, 100% AI is gonna be able to have its own emotions put into art. We might not understand it, but once people, the programmers really, once programmers, probably with the help of AI itself, figure out how to make AI understand emotions and the complexity of emotions, I think AI might be able to at least mimic the representation of human emotions. It could actually be that AI never needs art as an escape, or never needs to make music as an escape, because AI will be so much more intelligent than us. But maybe it will. Maybe it needs a scapegoat. Maybe I mean, who has played Detroit Become Human? But that is our interpretation of how AI would develop. It could be that it's way beyond that. Like, it's that thing of like, AI will look at our problems as like we look at a dog's problems. It's like, oh, a dog just needs food, water, and it's fine, a nice place to stay. And that's how AI is going to look at us. Like, what other problems could the dog possibly have? Which I don't agree with that, by the way. I think animals are way more intelligent and emotionally intelligent in general than we give them credit. There's studies that back this too, but people prefer to not think about that because we got to eat something, and meat is good. There have been billboards artists who credit AI. I mean, it's all copy really, or some way of, but okay, as somebody who studied art, right? I actually went to college for art. So I had a lot of art training and stuff. And a lot of the art training is exactly what they do with AI, is they feed you all of this art and they give it to you to copy. So like, one of the things that you got to do as an artist is first copy other artists, copy the greats, sculpture, painting, whatever, make the same thing, master the same techniques, and then come up with your own stuff. So, really, it's not that different. Obviously, like I said, still, I don't think AI at the moment, emphasis on at the moment, has the emotional intelligence to come up with compelling and amazing stuff. I mean, we are amazed with AI art. I mean, I'm amazed with AI art. I'm sometimes like, wow, this is amazing, but it depends on your prompt, obviously. So it still involves a human. But one day, that's all going to go away. Well, we don't need any of that shit anymore. They have no emotions. They're just replicating what they were taught and witnessed, but they don't have those what we were born with or on the inside. Yes, but I think that can change. It varies on their emotion and intelligence, but the same with humans anyways. That is true. I suppose I could use AI to jumpstart my comic art ideas. I mean, it's like I said, it's a controversial thing right now. It's like, do you use AI for there was this what's this, you might know him but I forgot his name. There's this really big artist YouTuber who got into a lot of heat because he was using AI to create sketches for his I think he was gonna create he wants to create a cartoon or a book or whatever, and he used AI for his sketches, and people were criticizing him for it, and we're like, cancel him or horrible. I don't get it, to be honest. It's like those sketches would have taken him hours to make, and don't we want to have our time back? Is that not why AI exists? For us to have our time back, for us to work less? Yes, at the moment we're not getting paid for our time back, but ultimately, hopefully that's the goal. I won't live that, you won't live that. We won't live a life where we just get paid for sitting around doing shit. But it's a nice thought. Here we are struggling. AI can have the best story written in the world and it still not interest me. I only care about real and how AI could help ease life, not art they make. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. I don't think AI should be used for art. I think AI is used the most for that right now because people don't want to pay for art. They never want it. They never wanted to. People never wanted to, especially companies, man. They're like, oh, I want to make this graphic or this logo for as cheap as possible. Nobody ever wanted to pay for art other than people who have money, who can buy it and have an interest in art. Anyone else is like, oh, can I get this logo for $5? Can I make this illustration for nothing? Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was saying is seeing Silence work with all these companies. They all want no one wants to pay for art. No one. It doesn't matter if they appreciate art or not. They're like, this is a waste of money. For them, it's a waste of money. Because why? Because AI can do it, right? Why would I pay a person, who's trying to make it? And that's why artists always have struggled, because nobody wants to pay artists. The same thing with musicians. I'm a musician. Nobody wants to pay for it. It's just how it is. People don't even go to concerts anymore. I mean, they do, but then they will pay $800 for a fucking Taylor Swift concert, but not go to an original band that is down their street at the bar and pay $15, maybe $5. Nobody does that. Nobody wants that. People are not interested in that. They don't care. People don't care. And that's the reason why AI is used so much for art, because people don't give a shit. People don't give a shit. They pretend like they do. They're like, oh, art and whatever. But then it's like, how much art have we bought? Are listening to everything on Spotify for $9.99 a month, where the artist gets like 10 cents a month instead of buying their CD? Is that what we're doing? No, we're not doing that. And that's collective, everybody. So yeah, this is obviously a huge mirror, really, in front of people, being like, hey, this you are using it for that. AI can do so much more. AI can do a lot, but people use it a lot for art. And even for music nowadays. It's crazy. It's crazy how good it is at me. It's boring music, but it's crazy in terms of technique. We'll never have these unique experiences as we humans. They will never have organs that makes them feel anything. They'll literally just pretend because they were taught to. You can the most with them electric waves through their body, so they feel excitement or whatever. I mean, technically internet, right? And I'm just being devil's advocate because that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here for. Technically, it's the same for us. For us, it's also just electric signals. That's our brain. That's what it is. Technically, it's the same thing. Very technically, our feeling love, feeling whatever, is just electric little through our neurons. PTSD is a physical thing that happens in your brain. It's not like an esoteric thing that happens the soul or whatever. No, it all is scientifically proven. It's chemicals being fired. So technically, I'm just being devil's advocate here. Technically, it's the same thing for us, just on a biological level instead of a algorithmically level. And you could maybe even say that brains have algorithms too, or whatever. But yeah, I agree. I don't think AI will ever be able to genuinely make art like we can, because we have other issues. We have, like I said, AI might not ever understand our issues, because for AI, it is measly. It's like, whatever, who cares about your stupid little problems, human? I can solve that shit in 2 seconds. AI could make life so much easier and have more time for better things in the world. I agree. I think that's how AI should be used. But, again, people just use it for the things that they never cared about anyways, which is art and music. Isn't it great? But then they will cry if it doesn't exist anymore, right? It's people like, oh, where's all the good music? Where's all the good music? Oh, nowadays there's no good music anymore. And it's like somebody who's never been to a live concert or hasn't been in 20 years. Oh, there's no good music anymore. It's like, yes, there is. There's probably more good music nowadays than there's ever been in history, because there's so many people that are creative. There's so many people in the world, and anyways, there's more people in the world than before. So of course there's a lot of odds that a lot of creatives are out there making amazing music, but we don't know it because where are they? How are you going to find out about it in all of the sea of like I said, millions of hours of content that are being put out every single day? The great philosopher Sarah Jazz has said, oh, this is the wrong one. The great philosopher Sarah Jazz has spoken about our current issue and problems in the world. That is what it is. And I, Sarah Jazz, speak the truth and nothing but the truth.